Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. We test the needs of the many or the one. Uhura learns all the rules to Fight Club. Security, because you just don't talk about Fight Club. A child gets to ascend, and Captain Pike gets to go undercover with an old flame. Ooh, something's not set to stun.
Holy shit, that light is bright. Damn, okay, I know for a fact we're on because my chief engineer installed the new lights.
You like the lights?
Oh my God, it's like seeing a pulsar.
Sir, there's four red lights.
I noticed that, but wait, which one says that we're on? Because they're moving back and forth like a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica.
Well, it's not a red alert. It's not a red alert. That's a whole different set of lights. There's actually an alarm that goes with the red alert, but those are your on, sir, lights.
We really wanted to make sure you saw it this time.
No, it is on, and I could tell it's on, but I don't know what the indicator is because it's strobing back and forth like Battlestar Galactica lights.
If you play music, they pulse out to the beat.
Yes.
They're trance lights?
Yeah. We just don't play trance music because, music rights and podcasts.
But we can't play trance because then Book will get upset.
Yeah, because of the trance worm.
We're reminded of trance worms. And all those trance worms are gone.
Stupid.
Hey, first off, how is your back? Because we heard what happened. Dot told me that Chief had a problem in the engine room, and you get excited because he pointed at you and says, "You've been chosen to help." And you were like, "I am the chosen one." And then you went in there and grabbed the coupler. First, you should have had an augment suit on, and you pulled your back.
He ascended.
He ascended the stairs and pulled the coupler. And
there was nobody else around to do it, and I wasn't going to go out and do that. So I was thankful he was there.
And you walk past me holding your back going, "This is what I get for being the chosen one."
Somebody has to be around to work the warp core after the fact. So
yeah,
well,
he had to do it, and he was the choice.
First off, already emailed to HR for harassment.
Well, first off, I'm impressed that you could actually pull those coupler because that thing is fucking heavy, and you were able to do it. So I'm surprised you have a back at all. So not only you're the computer guy, but apparently you're freakishly strong and used to be on Jupiter or something. So there's that.
The chosen one.
Yes, you were the chosen one. And I stopped the dots from going into your quarters and wanted to put tubing on your head.
Mm-hmm. That would have been fun.
Wait, did they make it in there? Why are you so quiet?
They did it?
Did the dots tube up your head?
You have tube head, sir?
Oh, fuck. 007, go see what your other dots are doing. Tell them to leave my computer guy alone. Don't put no, is not flex tube. No, no flex tubings on his head. No, remove it because we need him to check for errors later and to see if we had a flawless podcast.
Yeah, we need them.
Wait, what do you mean the other dots are running into his quarters with a thing of Flex Seal? Oh, no.
That's for your giant hole.
Isn't that the stuff that's on the infomercial?
Yes.
Wow.
Apparently the dots have been using them to repair stuff on the ship. Okay, I know that we've been broadcasting because of these lights. I keep waiting for them to go by your command. Oh my God. Okay, let me know when you've been fixed there, Patrick. Again, thank you for helping, Chief. My name is Captain Nathan Adams. I am aboard this wonderful vessel, the USS Butler, and if you're just tuning in, it is a Defiant class ship, and it's a nice, strong little ship. And if anybody calls it little but me, I will reenact Worf. Little. It's quite powerful.
I was going through YouTube, and there was a video that somebody did. I'm going to have to dig it up and tweet this link out. It was kind of cool. It was like History Channel did a review of the Defiant, like, that level of accuracy and documentation of what's on all decks of the Defiant. I thought that was incredibly cool. And because we have a Defiant class ship, we're similar to that, but we do have room for the holodeck, and we have a lot more automation because of all the dots.
The History Channel must have run out of alien stories to talk about.
It was on YouTube. It wasn't the History Channel actually doing it. It was some guy, but it was well done. Yeah, like it could have been on the History Channel.
I have to look for a video that I had once a long time ago. I doubt if anybody remastered it because it's an older video, but it featured a Defiant with a soundtrack of called I'm the Bone Smasher. And it's all the great scenes of Defiance just destroying shit left and right. Smasher. You know, it's really cool. I'll have to put it out there once I find it. I have a full crew complement today with one person kind of down because of their back, but he is here. He's talking, so that means they removed the Flex Seal, so that's good. I have next is my science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer. And Patrick, I would love it if you came into my lab and told me all of the good, juicy details of what it was like to be in the Matrix.
What?
He doesn't remember.
Oh, it affected his memory. How am I going to find out what happened?
I was where? When was this?
Well,
when you were pulling the tube.
Last Friday night, you went to the bar and had a few drinks.
I don't drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that joke doesn't work for him.
Yeah, I guess not, huh?
Nope, not when you've been sober almost 24 years. It doesn't work.
Congratulations.
Is Synthahol okay? We can have Synthahol with you, right?
You can. I'm not going to drink that.
Not even Synthahol?
Nope.
Okay.
He does drink prune juice.
I don't even drink that near beer crap. Ugh.
He drinks prune juice because that is the drink of warriors.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of warriors drink, I also have my number one here.
Hey, I'm Patrick. I'm number one. I am the foreign species liaison. I'm the computer guy. And apparently I'm also Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, but I don't remember it.
You are Tube-Tacular, sir.
Well, we knew that.
Does it have to do when Heather was trying to toss some cupcakes she made and he did that Matrix backwards thing to avoid them all like he was Agent Smith or something?
Well, I didn't want to fucking have my head split open.
Well, I swear to God.
They were solid cupcakes.
I mean, when someone throws rocks at you, you gotta
she makes some hardcore, like literally the core of the cupcake is hard.
Well, I mean, you are supposed to microwave it first, I guess.
No, that's not how you make cupcakes.
Cupcakes in the microwave?
Well, we're talking about me.
You can't even put the tin in.
We're talking about me.
That's why I ducked.
Wise decision, sir. Good reflexes.
Either it was going to split my skull open or it was going to eat my face off. One of the two.
That's true.
Okay, we can continue. I also have my chief engineer.
And I am a fan of cupcakes, generally speaking. Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm the engineer of the show and the ship. And have you guys heard the Open Pike podcast?
No, not yet.
There is a podcast out there where they actually get the listeners to submit 90-second clips of their first reaction to the latest episode of Strange New Worlds. And they put them in the show and they talk about it.
That's fun.
And it's totally awesome. And other podcasts actually go in and do it too. And I think we should probably record a little something at some point just to get a shout out, you know?
Cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's a fun way. I mean, it's like you guys work so hard to write recaps and everything. These guys get it mailed in, like emailed comments. They get them sent in from just listeners to say, here's what happened on the show. And this is what I think about it. And that's their entire show. I think that's awesome.
Talk about working smarter, not harder.
Right?
So people send us comments of what you think about the show.
So that way we don't have to do any work.
Yeah. No, you don't have to. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes. What is it? Starfleet the collective at StarfleetUnderground.com.
Yeah.
We want to be sure to get that email out because, you know.
Hey, and if we use your email, we'll give you a shout out on air.
Oh, yeah. We'll even read your email if it's really, really provocative and, nasty.
Or completely fucked up and wrong.
Well, we won't read those emails. We'll save those emails for our quarters.
If it's really fucked up and wrong, we'll definitely read it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, by the way, we are a podcast that is not meant for children.
Exactly. So anyway, if you guys are looking for another podcast to listen to, I know there's a lot of them out there, and sometimes you don't have time to listen to the ones you already listen to now. But Open Pike was well done, and it's a good podcast to check out.
Cool.
I haven't heard it yet, so I'm going to definitely have to listen to it. So that would be cool. We have anybody? No, you don't say anything on the show. What do you mean you've heard the show? You hear your beeps. No, that doesn't make you a guest. Dot. No. You don't ever add any commentary.
Yeah, that's true. Our dots talk a lot, but they don't say much. They just beep. We don't have the official sound module for the dots that they have on the newer episodes. We have the one from the short trek, the cartoon one, that all it does is go bing.
Ding, 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 dong.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, dong. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ready to continue. But before I do, I got to pay the bills. Our show is brought to you by Section 31. Thank you, because you're responsible for us having this wonderful Defiant class starship. So we appreciate it, as well as our Patreon members and the fact that you are coming back, all of our listeners and fans. We appreciate you coming back week after week just to hear us. So thank you. We notice our viewership keeps going up, which means you little deviates are sharing us, which I think is awesome. We like being shared, very much so. And if you share enough and we hit a milestone, which we haven't told people yet, we'll video number 1 twerking once his back heals.
No.
We want people to actually, follow us and subscribe.
There's a lot of zeros involved in that number.
Okay. All right. When we hit
but if we do hit that number, we will totally make him twerk on video.
We will make him twerk. And as an added bonus, if we get there within the next month, we'll do a video of Chief doing the helicopter dick.
Oh my.
Which is really hard to do. And it's actually cooling breeze once he gets going.
It has a bit of a smell though.
Oh.
Yeah, that's because those are the oils he uses.
Oh, okay. That totally explains it.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not saying anything else.
This is a little off topic, but I just saw this tweet come in where someone tweeted, like Anson Mount was speaking, "Gonna fuck an alien," and Anson Mount responded, "Finally." he was just waiting to get his Kirk on.
That's hilarious.
That's kind of funny. Well, at least they have that. All captains must have something to diddle, I guess.
I mean, yeah. Well, why not?
Especially a traitorous bitch.
Now.
Next is create. Oh no! Wait, you already gave your.
Wow.
What the fuck was that?
What the
Did somebody
hell?
let something out of xeobiology?
That was Heather's vibrator being kickstarted.
No, my vibrator sounds better than that. That sounded horrible.
It sounded like a pachyderm with a cold.
What was that?
Oh.
Did the Gorn approach? Do we have Gorn on the ship?
It was a space cycle outside my headquarters.
Heather, did you leave one of the exobio doors open again?
Oh shit, I might have.
We should get on with this because remember my back is hurt and so sitting is not always that comfortable.
All right. Well, since you brought it up, do you have any corrections?
No, we do not have any corrections.
Did you even check subspace?
I did check
When?
subspace.
When
you mentioned it first, about 10 minutes
I didn't
ago.
I didn't hear anything.
Well, that's because I did it on the sly.
That's not the only thing you slide on. All right, let's go with news. What do you got? Do you have any news for us here, Heather?
Hi, Captain. So Linus from Discovery now has his own comic book coming out about his coming of age. It was released on June 8th. We have a link in the show notes below. And if you want to see a few panels, they released the first 5 pages. So go check it out. I read it and I'm really excited to read more.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. I'd be really interested in seeing that.
It was awesome.
How about you there, number one? What do you got?
Well, again, Star Trek is breaking ground because on Strange New Worlds, we are going to have our first trans character actor, Jesse James Keitel, who you might know from Queer as Folk and Big Sky. She will be on episode 7.
Woo.
And if you watched The Ready Room, you already saw her.
Outstanding.
Woohoo.
And Chief?
Yep.
Oh, for my news?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Ceti Alpha 5, which, is hard to get over if you're con, is going to be a podcast, apparently. Nicholas Meyer, the writer of Star Trek II and several other Star Trek movies, was on a podcast called Page One, a writer's podcast, mentioned that Ceti Alpha 5 is basically the story of what happens after Space Seed, but before Star Trek II, they're at the con. It's going to be a podcast. And if it's really, really
Wow.
good, they might even make a film of it afterward. But I think that's very cool because audio drama fits Star Trek very nicely. If you guys remember listening to No Man's Land, that was really well done, and you can get it on Audible if you look for it. No Man's Land.
Nope.
It's got 7 of 9 and
Raffi.
And
They're getting it on.
And they you can hear them make out a little bit.
Don't you go wow wow.
It's really it's seriously, it's a high quality production with lots of cool sound effects and stuff. So they've got that bar set already incredibly high. So the Ceti Alpha 5, which has got to be an amazing story, is got to sound amazing if they're going to make a podcast, like multi-episode version of a show on audio. I mean, this is going to be really exciting and really cool.
Multi-episode.
And my other little piece of news is not little. It's 20 pounds. It's DieCast. It's the original series Enterprise, modeled after the one in the Smithsonian. It's over 32 inches long at 1/350th actual scale and has over 70 LED lights, and you could have one for yourself for only $599. The saucer separates.
Wow.
This is really exciting. Star Trek registration.tomy.com/register. Why did I read out this horrible URL? Anyway, we'll put the link in the show notes and you can go find out more about this. But I think it's considering that's not that outrageously overpriced. So if you want your very own 20-pound Enterprise, the saucer separates.
Dude.
Come on.
I'm so thankful for our replicators, so that way all I have to do is just replicate it.
I'm not happy because Section 31 in Starfleet will not let me slingshot into the past to get items to sell in the future. Or else I would have my quarters filled with that stuff. They get such
Temporal Prime Directive, sir.
great. Yeah, I mean, come on. Kirk did it and he got away with it.
Who needs?
Yeah, but that's Kirk.
Yeah, but who needs an original?
That's true.
Who needs an original from the past? I swear, a replicated one is just as good.
Well, you got a point. I should look into that. Let's see the news that I have thinking about this. For those of you that love Discovery, and also for those of you that hate Discovery, there's been a little bit of a hint, the barest whiff of a pleasant fart in a crowded room that you have no quite idea of what's there. Discovery Season 5 may have begun filming. Michelle Paradise, by the dashboard light, tweeted out a picture of the captain's chair on the bridge of the Discovery and said, "Hello, Toronto," with the hashtag Star Trek Discovery. As you know, they film in Pinewood, Toronto studios for Discovery. So it's a good chance that they started up, but there's been no official announcement on the start of production or filming, but it is a hint. So stay tuned. And now we got the next part here, which a lot of people say that they can't decide on which person they like doing the recap more, either my chief science officer or my number one. However, today is my science officer. So what do you got for us? What was the show? What was going on? Because I got lots to talk about.
I number one. So this week we watched Star Trek. Oh, did I say number one? Oh, shit. Sorry, Captain. I Captain. I won't do that again.
Lieutenant Heather Sparrow's fitness report.
Oh, I thought he was going to put me on an airlock.
Comment.
That's next.
Yeah, first the comments in your log, then comes the airlock.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, right. There's tears. I Captain. This week we watched Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 6, Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach. Teaser. What a small universe. Enterprise is in the Magellan system doing a routine survey as Captain Pike reflects back to the last time he was in the Magellan system and nearly was killed by a pulsar. Entering a turbolift on the way to the bridge, he notices Cadet Uhura and comments on her security rotation. It's been rough, but she's been learning La'an's lessons. Pike warns her to watch out for lesson number 7, and then he zips his lips, refusing to tell her anymore. Once on the bridge, they receive a distress call from a non-Federation shuttle. Enterprise intervenes, saving the passengers, but unfortunately takes fire, causing protocol to kick in, meaning now they're involved. And Pike is gonna have to fill out some serious paperwork after this. But that will have to wait until after he meets the survivors. In the transporter room, Pike and number 1 are ready for a meet and greet when Pike gets a surprise of his life. "Hey, I know you. You're Laura. Hey, and you're Lieutenant Pike. But bum.
So you go halfway around the world to find Dick. What's up with that?
Well, I thought it was kind of cute in a way because they beam on the ship after he kind of scares the bejesus out of Uhura. And then it's like going to a grocery store and running into the actor that plays Luke Cage into a pet store. You just don't expect that. It's just not something you expect.
I know you.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
But if you're me, it happens.
It can happen.
I had to go to IMDb and find out where I saw her from. It was bothering me. She's on The Librarians.
Oh.
Rebecca Romaine?
No, well, she's on that too.
The other one.
The guest, Alora.
Oh, yeah.
Also on The Librarians.
The Librarians was a fun show.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
And for anybody counting, it's Magellan with a J. Usually I would spell Magellan with a G.
I did spell it with a G.
Well, your jelly's got more jam. It's with a J.
You could have totally played that off because nobody can see how you spelt Magellan.
Yeah, but I don't mind admitting my faults.
Well, honesty is okay.
We just don't have time for them in every episode.
Ouch.
Damn, dude.
Cupcake, 12 o'clock. Duck.
Oh, fuck that shit. Let's just hook him up to the Matrix again.
What?
Did you guys notice? Exactly. Did you guys notice that the show started with the captain's log and then this episode focused on the captain? This was like
I didn't
the
see his
captain's
log.
episode.
They showed his log?
Started with his log on a close-up.
Well, I know you were looking.
Well, hello. You saw the bed scene? I mean, hello.
You didn't slow-mo the bed scene, so that's all on you.
You were doing nipple checks and everything, right?
Yeah.
It was like, damn, daddy. Gay Facebook and gay Twitter were like, oh my God.
But the rest of Twitter was like, oh my God, his hair. Is his hair getting bigger?
Yeah, that was funny.
His hair, he had a hair erection.
He looked like that cartoon character with the black shirt with the big hair. I forgot. Somebody posted it
somebody
in the
did
channel.
that too. Johnny Bravo, right?
Yeah, Johnny Bravo. His hair looked like Johnny Bravo.
So that was so well done.
So that was fun. But yeah, but he's on there and it looks, and odds have it, it's like, wow, my old girlfriend just came on the ship. So it's like, what the what?
He's like, and this is my number one.
And forgets her name again. That's so funny.
It doesn't matter.
You know why he forgot? Because when she saw all the blood drained from one head to the other, and it just he couldn't
That's
remember.
why when you become speechless in front of somebody, oh yeah, that's one of the reasons.
So it was definitely
the look on Una's face.
It was, and the way she gave him the side eye on that, she's like,
on whose face?
On Una.
Oh, I thought you said Uno. I was like, what?
No.
No, that's the game they play when they play cards.
I'm
they play
guessing
Uno.
So, but that was a good little teaser and an introduction, which again they did typical, I think, really good Star Trek, because you had no idea where the fuck this episode was going.
And the visuals are just so cool in this episode.
Oh, it's amazing.
They have not let off on the FX team.
No, it was amazing.
I mean, you see the little starship battles, like the first one, the grapples, like, oh, wow, these got grapplers going. And then they're starting to fire their little phaser beams, and they're just like so cute. And like, it's only 2%. It's like, well, they could sit here all day.
But it was pretty cool.
And then Uhura taps them with their phasers and blows the fuck out of them. It's like, oops.
No, that was kind of funny. Was that part of this teaser part there?
Yeah,
Heather?
yeah. She's trying to graze them because she's sitting down at the weapons console because she's cross training everywhere.
That was funny because you sit there, it's just go. It's like, but he zigged instead of zagged.
Right.
So
they didn't signal. They're supposed to signal.
You know, so that was funny. That was definitely funny. And she tried it. That's why she's in communications, is she's not a weapons person.
Right.
But it's kind of first time ever. Most shows, when we come across aliens, they manhandled the Enterprise.
Yeah. They're just like, they're just kind of tapping on us a little bit. It's a little bit annoying, but it's not hurting us.
It's like, oh my God.
That was hilarious.
They're tickling us. What is our shields like?
Handle me.
Our shields are down 0.0002%.
I love that.
Aren't you so cute?
He comes right out and says, you know, the little dog has the most to prove. I'm like, it's like, oh, look at that little dog. Why are you?
Yep. My little dog, Pip, can tell you
little
that.
dog syndrome.
Yes.
There was a person my mom used to listen to, and he was doing a analogy about biting off more you can chew. And he talked about how there was this little feist dog that was in the front yard, and a big Doberman would go by and the little dog would tear off and hit the gate and make all this noise. And the Doberman just barely looks at him. And then one day he was going by and he hit the gate and the gate popped open. And the Doberman looked at the little dog and says, I've been waiting for this, and tore his ass up. They said the little dog wanders back up to the front of the porch and sat down and went, who in the hell left the gate open? So that's exactly what happened. He bit off more he could chew.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we can continue on because that story fell really flat.
Just like your ass.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure you guys don't want me to start telling stories about Pip. My dog.
I've heard the stories, and I don't want to say anything
awesome.
smart because she'll throw a cupcake at me.
A warm, hot cupcake from a microwave that's flaming because it had a tinfoil wrap.
How do you set a cupcake on fire with a microwave?
Give it to me.
No comment.
Okay, let's continue on.
Hi, Captain. Act 1. We're just friends, I swear. Pike quickly informs Uhura that he is captain now before escorting them to sickbay to get checked out. While the doctor examines them, Uhura explains that the boy is a holy figure known as the First Servant. One child is selected via a lottery to serve the people of their world. The boy will ascend to the throne in 2 days. Uhura continues, saying they were on their way back from a retreat when their shuttle was ambushed, and she believes their attackers were their neighbors. Descendants from a long-lost alien colony come to kidnap their holy figure for ransom. Pike, Number 1, and Leanne assemble a landing party to go investigate the damaged ship. Not because they want to, but because Starfleet requires it, work. Uhura insists on joining them, and while on the away mission, Uhura recognizes the technology from their neighbors, and they find a defaced coin and a communication chip, or several communication chips. Uhura explains that the token is a sacred oath coin given to men with the highest military honors. To deface the token is forbidden. Oh my God! One of her guardsmen has betrayed them. Pike offers to do what he can to protect her and the boy. Unfortunately, they can't stay on Enterprise since the boy must ascend and she must oversee the peaceful transition of power. It would be wrong to have an outsider at the ceremony, but Pike counters, well, what about a friend? In sickbay, the doctor is scanning his patient, the little boy, when his father jumps in and scans the boy himself, because, apparently what he was doing wasn't good enough. This guy is a doctor on a planet that has no disease or sickness. Talk about a bad career choice.
Dum, 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 dum.
That, seriously,
A really
Now
bad career
that-
choice.
Extremely.
Wait. There's no disease at all whatsoever. And
Yeah,
you decided to become a doctor.
Yeah, no disease, no sickness, and the guy's a doctor. That's the equivalent of going to an art or theater school and getting an art or theater degree.
They must not have money in their civilization.
Or going to culinary school and being Heather.
Oh, that was cold.
Well,
I got to put on my jacket.
he doesn't like the fact that I suggested him as, the chosen one to be ascended. He's not happy about that.
Well,
Yeah, his
the
back
fact
is
that
all
every time
messed
you
up
make
now.
food, there's some kind of fire alarm going off or, or
I love
panic
how you
alarm
changed
or,
the topic.
Well, I do like when Heather cooks because whenever we have any type of insects that come back from us on a away mission, they escape the biofilter.
they run from that.
I'll just get one of her cupcakes and put it in my quarters and they all leave. So they don't even come in.
I thought you were going to say they take one taste of it and they all die and then you have a
No,
bunch of
they
dead
just
people.
smell it and they're like,
There's something with
fuck.
the smell and they all take off.
Self-preservation among insects.
So, but yeah, it's definitely, you pick a career. It's like, I'm going to be a computer support person for a bunch of computer experts. It's like, yeah, you hardly ever get called because everyone will fix it themselves. So yeah, but it's kind of cool. But Dr.
Mbenga.
Patrick, thank you, is impressed with the guy at least, or did I skip a part?
No, that's right. No, it was kind of cool. I mean, one doctor to another and all of that, except he's like, dude, you're not doing it right.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
How would you like to be that guy? You know, because you're getting medical care and you're like, this place sucks. You know, you didn't even pick it up on the scan. Here, let me show you how to work this thing.
Isn't it something you get like, I have the state of the art. How quaint. Really?
Yeah.
This is your state of the art? We have stuff that's even better than this.
Have you ever heard of quantum bioimplants? No, you haven't. I mean, come on. They don't even know about quantum bioimplants. What's wrong with these people? State of the art Starship Medical Facility.
Or subspace relays with radial propagation.
Now that was cool, though. That was cool. I dig that.
I mean, and how impressive was that little kid?
The kid was cool.
He was impressive.
He was smart without being an asshole.
Very smart without being an asshole.
You know, and that's a difficult thing because you get people who do it unintentionally because they have no social skills. But the little kid did have social skills. It's like, you know, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. It's like, what did I say was wrong? You know, but they were wrong. He just is no tact. But this kid I liked him. Whoever they picked to play him did a really good job because he was instantly likable.
Yeah, he was cool. Mm-hmm. And he even got the don't let the hole fall on your kid joke.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat.
At the same time, he's like, you know, this biobed, you know, I could totally make it a transmitter, but you know.
His name is Ian Ho. He's a Canadian-born actor out of Toronto.
He did a really good job. However, there is something that made me the first indication as we continue along the show that something might be off is when Pike says, we got to go check out the ship that had the nerve to tickle us. And his squeeze is like, no, don't do it. Why?
Yeah, that was the first red flag.
Well, the first red flag is how hard she was flirting with him the second they walked into the transporter room.
Why is flirting a red flag?
You haven't seen somebody in so long.
I mean, when you throw your vagina at the man, I mean, come on.
No. Rocky gets people flirting with him for his members, so that's why he's always cautious. It's like, you just want me from my jump rope, don't you? But yeah, that was the very first red flag, I think.
The second red flag that I noticed was when the father and the doctor were talking, and the father is telling him about how there's no sickness, there's no disease, there's no problems. And then he says, let the tree that grows from the roots of sacrifice lift us where suffering cannot reach. And it's like, oh, red flag, roots of sacrifice. What sacrifice are we talking about that has you know?
Yeah.
And suffering can't reach. It's like, wait a minute. What do you mean suffering can't reach? Because suffering can reach anybody.
I think he's saying where suffering cannot reach means like they have no disease, they have no health problems, they've reached an area where suffering cannot reach, but they're doing it because of the sacrifice.
Yeah, the word is sacrifice.
We still have no idea. That's something that when you first watch, or if you're not paying close attention, that you gloss over. You just think it's a cute saying that they came up with, the sacrifice of people who did this before, or the sacrifice of people who studied. We still don't have any real idea of what the sacrifice is.
And it's really funny because that's what this entire culture is all about, is celebrating that sacrifice. They're not hiding it whatsoever.
No.
It's just that nobody fucking realizes it because it's fucking insane.
Yeah. And that's what later on, and so I can't wait till we get to that part because I got a lot of stuff to say. So, but it was pretty cool. However,
you know what else was really cool? That friggin' ship, when they visited the crash ship, it was sideways.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love that stuff. That level of production, just like, not only the special effects are cool, but they build the special sets cool. And then we're going to build the Starship crash on the ground, ship, wreck.
But if you think about
it's sideways when they come into it.
But that's smart. Somebody finally got the idea, is like, why do all ships crash, right side up?
Right.
When they tumble and move around and they're like, oh, yeah, you're right, man. I was just thinking that. It's pretty cool. Let's add that shit in. Talk to Budget. Budget, can we make it sideways? They say, yeah, cool. All right.
And Uhura reaches out and wants to touch the interface right away. And
that was funny.
What the hell are you doing? Don't do that. That's lesson 3 for crying out loud. Let your tricorder do the walking.
Anything.
Let your tricorder. Yeah, that was good because you never want to go into a strange technologic area that you have no idea what it is, and then finger fuck the buttons. You just don't do that.
Don't push all the buttons.
You don't do that. It's like, what does this button do? That is your last words.
That's the famous last words. What's that do? Click.
Yeah, they should have found that out from the first episode when they went into that asteroid that was going towards the planet. And the guy goes up, I'm going to touch the thing. Where Kirk's brother touched it and it electrocuted his ass. So yeah, they did not follow that rule.
Don't touch. Lesson 3, security. The other thing, okay, so I praise them highly on the effects work and the cinematography and all this and that, but the spaceships still have the same lockdowns that are in the U-Haul moving vans. Did you notice that? Anybody ever move things? You got to strap things into the side. The rail is on these spaceships everywhere.
Oh my God.
They put them
I
in
did
everywhere.
not even notice.
It stands out to me now. I've seen it in Voyager. I've seen it in other ships. I've seen it in other shows. It's just a standard thing they put in there that makes it look like spacey.
Also, the rails are there in case the ship decides to lose in inertia dampening, that they can reach out and grab it and not flop around. But when you reach out and grab it and the ship flops around, you're going to get broken bones and everything else because you get being whipped back and forth like the nene. So that's not
I just
good.
think it's funny that, how many years into the future is this? And we still have the same steel rails to lock our cargo against the wall. I just, it's something I notice.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
That's true. I mean,
they tie shit down.
It's kind of like, a fork.
If it
Would you
works.
redesign a fork for space or is it just going to be a fork?
Yeah, it's going to, you either tie things down.
Maybe I'm overthinking it.
No. And I like the fact that they still use challenge coins in the future. I give coins out from time to time if you ever come across me at a convention. But yeah, it's an oath coin. And it's like,
that's what I was about to say. It's just like an oath coin.
yeah. So the oath coin, they look at it and go, there's a line through it. What does it mean? They broke the earth. Well, first off, if you're carrying something that's supposed to be a coin and you decide you're going to do strange shit, why the fuck would you deface it so anybody who sees it knows you're up to nefarious means? It's not a cool way to hide.
Yeah, it's not a good way to remain undercover.
It's like, seriously.
Undercover angel, Midnight Tennessee.
I never had an angel make sweet love to me. Okay, they realize that, okay, the boy's life is in danger. Let's go.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Let's go ahead and do this. And then Pike is like, she's got to go. And they were really private people and they don't want anybody down there. And then Pike, doing a little bit of a Kirk thing, he's like, what about a friend?
With benefits?
With bennies. We can't do it on my ship. Can we go down to your planet? What about that, huh?
You're going to do it at her place. Okay.
Right. Well, she does have a bigger bed.
I mean, whatever works, man. That's the way you get some.
The only thing Pike didn't do is like walk like those dogs that air fuck because they were so horny and there's nothing there. So they just kind of walk around twitching their hips. But yeah, you can tell it's been a while for Pike.
He just didn't have to invite her to his quarters and get run down like Spock did last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Pike is like, well, I have 10 years left. Why the fuck not? Might as well.
And also, Pike's quarters is a lot cooler than Spock's quarters because he's got the open flame barbecue and shit going on over there. He's got the bachelor pad.
Rank does have his privileges.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, Patrick, if your back is still hurting, you can use my hot tub.
Aw, that's so sweet of you, Captain.
Yeah. I just got to make sure I'm not in the room. I don't want to see him go in there just
be gross.
Nude. So that wouldn't be, I agree. And I don't usually do it, but I know you're clean. The last person I let use my hot tub, it looked like it was soup scum on the top. I did not appreciate that. So
I swear to God, I thought the broth would work out. I just needed a tub big enough.
You were making soup in my fucking hot tub?
I needed something bigger than what I had. It didn't work out.
Oh my God. You realize that the EMH had to do a full body scan of me because when I went in there, I thought I had worms that came out of my anus and it was your fucking noodles?
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Can we go to the next section?
Yeah, let's go in there. I thought literally that I had ass worms because of you. So
Hashtag ass worms.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move to the next section, please.
Hi, Captain. Act 2.
Oh my God, she made soup in my tub.
Act 2. Bingo! By the way, that's a bingo spot just so you know. Alora agrees to the friend excuse as they head down to her planet. Time to shake the tree and see what falls out. They arrive in front of a dozen or so guards, and Alora asks them to renew their vows by presenting their oath coins for inspection. This quickly weeds out the imposter as a chase ensues. However, the guard fails as his last words were, "Long live the first servant." Shaken by the experience, Alora doesn't want to be alone and invites Pike to her room with an invitation of kisses. Pike shrugs and says, well, might as well. In sickbay, Spock and the child have a geeky interaction, and we learn the child is wicked smart, with some serious potential to be someone great. The doctor strikes up a conversation with the father, doctor to doctor, about a hypothetical patient and how to go about curing her. The father quickly shuts down the conversation, saying they don't share that type of information with aliens. La'an interrupts Uhura's 15-minute lunch break to assign her another task: translate the communication chips they found on the Away mission.
That was kind of neat to see the discussion going back and forth between Spock and the kid. Again, when you get somebody who you can banter with intellectually.
That was cool. It was very exciting to see that. And the fun that it was just a kid.
It was.
I really dug all that stuff. These people must be very, very interesting people until you find out what they do for their kid. But you're fascinated by this culture. I'm like, these kids are super smart. They don't have any disease. Yeah. It's like something's too good here.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the kid's going to like make a subspace transceiver out of your biobed when you're not looking. What's up with that? That's just like cool.
And then you have a way that they did, which I thought was nice, was to keep you away from the twist. When the guard's like, long live the first ascendant. It's like, well, long live. It takes on a whole new meaning when you get towards the other
when
part
you find
of it.
out why.
Yeah. So it's like, wow, they did a really good job when it comes to that. And the guy obviously was dedicated to try to get away. And
at this point in time, though, we don't know what's going on. We don't know, what's happening.
Nope.
So it's like another red flag. Because why would someone who is trying to harm or hurt this kid say long live? Like, why would he?
Exactly.
It's very, very interesting. Even they're like not hiding a thing. It's like right out in the open. But if you're not from there, you don't know what's going on.
You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. And then Pike had to do a hero moment. It's like, if you notice, this isn't on stun. So it's just like, how would he notice? It's not his technology. As far as he know, it could be party favored.
Well, I thought they had like the staffs from like Stargate. They were just flowing those things around. And they're like, oh, wow, those are badass weapons. And then you realize they're not any good unless they're like standing right in front of them. And then they start running down this maze of hedges. And you're like, why did they hit them now? And then they go hand-to-hand combat with them instead of blasting somebody. I was kind of confused on the use of technology, but I still think it's cool.
It was. It really was. Now we know, that the Jaffa found that and made improvements.
And where the fuck are the handrails? Nobody has handrails. I guess they don't have disease. They don't have handrails, and their kids are so smart, they're not going to fall over the edge.
You notice there were no really old people there because the old people, they don't have a sense of balance and they all fell off the edge because there's no handrails.
Oh my God.
So that's definitely a fun part, and it is just a lot of little things that it's just in the back of your mind. It's tickling you on something that's not right, but you can't quite get it. It just looks like a perfect, happy society,
Yeah.
And then you get back on the bridge, you got the doctors looking at the kid. It's like, oh my God, he's perfect. He's got like Wolverine healing ability or what?
It kind of reminded me of the old episode Symbiosis, where everything appeared perfect on the outside, but it was like really screwed up on the inside.
Yeah, it really, but we still don't know what's really screwed up about it. And then we see the doctor, he gets all excited because if this kid healed that quickly, maybe I can use it for my daughter.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally, I mean, they kind of spelled that out for you in the recap in the beginning. What if we find a civilization that has advanced medical technology that could actually cure this? Yeah. That would be totally awesome. awesome. That's why we're doing it all in the first place. Well, guess who we just meet in this episode?
Yeah. And you can see also his daughter inherited her dad or her mom's intelligence because she's like, how long have I really been in here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was like, you fucking with me, man.
You just read that. You just read that. You just read that again. Why you keep reading me that? Get to the next part.
Yeah. Why are you hitting yourself? You know, this is
Which, by the way, why is there no bookmarks? Why is there no, like, in that technology, a Kindle that starts where he stopped?
He's got so much going on, he can't even work a bookmark.
He forgot. That's what it's like. Amazon, hold my place. So he didn't get it. You know, but what's that woman's name?
Alora?
Yeah,
thank you. And it's like she's with Pike and Pike is being the macho guy. And he's like, are you okay? Like she's not capable of saying I'm not okay. But he's like, are you okay?
Like,
you're
I will
right.
post a guard. She's like, oh, you don't have to post a guard. You can post me in here. Come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come in.
Post
You
something
can
else.
be my guard.
You know, I didn't save you from certain death just to see you get killed.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh.
It's some hard flirting, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just come back to the room because I'm going to pay you my way. Bow chicka wow wow.
They say, it's good to be the captain. It's real good to be the captain.
It's like, it's time for you to use your captain's log in other ways.
Oh my.
So let's go ahead and go, I guess, to the next section.
Meanwhile, Uhura is just reading all the notes.
Really?
She's trying. Okay, Captain. Act 3. We done fucked up on that one. Later that evening, during pillow talk, Pike mentions how he knows his future and he's going to be medically screwed up later on. Can their medicine heal him? Only if he lives on their planet and follow their rules, their culture, and their way of life. Back on the ship, Uhura finishes translating those communication chips and divulges what she found. Looks like they need to call the captain in for a in-person meeting, and he is not happy about it. Uhura tells him that the people who tried to kidnap the Holy Child were related to the people on the planet below. Cousins, if you may say, like Romulans to Vulcans. So why did these people leave paradise? And why would Alora lie about that? Mm-hmm. Just then, the doctor calls. The father and the son are trying to leave Enterprise. Pike rushes to the transporter room just in time to see both of them transport off the ship. A few seconds later, only the father returns. The child has been kidnapped. Red alert, red alert. Enterprise tries everything they can to get the kid back, but a tractor beam and warp speed don't mix well as the small shuttle explodes, killing everyone on board.
In this part here, we're beginning to see that something definitely is going on because it's a surprise. Well, first you get the captain. He's pissed off because he was getting ready to go for round 2 and they called him upstairs. And so he's all ticked off. He comes up to the ship.
He was right in the middle of a captain's log.
Thank you. He's like, I got a fucking blue veiner and you didn't let me get it to full diamond hard. What is so important that you got to pull up? And they show him. And now he realizes that, yeah, something is definitely going on. And then when the father is trying to escape with the kid, it's like, wait a minute. Why would he do that? What's happening? And then again, you got to train these people better. They put a tractor beam and the ship turns inside out and exploded. So.
I love all of this though. It's really exciting moment to moment. I mean, it ends right into the break and the ship goes kaboom and like, oh no, the kid's killed and now they're framed for it. It's going to look like Enterprise is fucking shit up. This is really fucked up. And that phone call he gets right after the next scene is like, oh my God, that's like awkward.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's all spinning out in really crazy directions. And for some reason, directions rhymes with erections, which is what Captain Pike was getting in the beginning and was beamed away at the wrong time.
It's fucked up because then Laura, he talks to her and it's like, okay, first you fucked me, now you fucked me.
Oh, man.
She was pissed.
Yeah, but that's the next section.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Oops.
This section is she's throwing the we have no disease over here. We can cure everything. I'm kind of cute. You know you're a captain and all, but don't you want to kind of stay here and live our pretty nice way of life? And
come on.
And we're out in the open and honest about everything, except you don't know what's going on.
And I'm really bendy. That's a plus. I'm very bendy.
Oh, and she had a good combination of candles to light ratio. It wasn't 100,000 candles like Spock did last week. It was a few candles. It was tastefully done.
Yes.
And she had the soft light orb thing and the round bed. It was all pretty hot, right?
Yep.
I mean, that wasn't hot, was it?
Very Vegas.
Yep, she was laying there like, you can light my candle. So yeah, it was very cool. That whole thing. And it's just the look on his face, and Wells, everybody else was kind of upset. It looked like the kid blew up.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was a shocking ending to that segment.
Yeah, like, oh shit, we done fucked up on that one.
I did like the moment, though, you saw the kids playing. He was playing like that little Noble Gases hopscotch grid thing.
Yeah,
and
that was cute. I forgot about that part. That was.
And it was one thing that you don't get a chance to see. Imagine the life of this poor child that she's got a limited lifespan and she keeps getting beamed into the transporter buffer and she only gets popped out to get a book read to her. And which is cool and all, but it's not go hang out with your friends and have fun kid style. So it was nice to be able to see that.
What about eating and having to pee? I mean,
well,
how does she do that in a transporter buffer?
If it's the same time right away, she really never has chance to have enough food in her and to digest it long enough to pee, because she's only there for like every 5 to 10 minutes and then she's gone.
And the previous scene where she was there and he's like, oh, the transporters, I've got it timed not to interrupt anything important. And mid-sentence, it fucking beams her back in. I'm like, wait a minute, you got the timer set to that thing and it does it right in the middle of that. It was like kind of funny, but weird.
That explains the bathroom then, because all he has to do is program the transporter to transport her poop out every so often, and then he just does it automatically and she doesn't even realize.
And
I don't think she's been in long enough to or been out long enough to need to do it.
No, because
she's been in there for at least a year, right?
Yeah, but not in real time a year, but in holodeck time, being only like a couple of minutes. What he said, a week, or
doesn't
is it a
he
month?
do 15-minute increments?
Yeah, but I think he does it once a month, maybe, or once a week.
Might be once a week.
I think once a week. So 15 minutes once a week. That's not a whole lot of time that goes by. So, but it was nice, like you said, Chief, to see her play as a kid.
And when the other kid, his future, especially rewatching this the second time, it's nice seeing him play too.
Yeah, and the fact that you can tell he was really raised well. He had good manners, because as soon as he realized that it might have been a pofar, when he looked at the doc come in and goes, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. And that's, the kid was
He's
really
a good kid.
He is.
Nothing wrong with this kid.
No, definitely nothing wrong with this kid at all.
And smart as a whip.
Yeah.
And we can go, I guess, to the next section now.
Aye, Captain. Act 4. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Allura is horrified that the child is dead, saying that this is the end of their world and civilization as they know it.
It's the end. Sorry.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
And I feel fine.
Yeah, it actually perfectly describes this. She hangs up on him, causing Pike to start an investigation on how the kid was kidnapped. Through that investigation, they find the kid is still alive and well, and they give him back to his home world just in time for the crowning ceremony. Pike is invited to the party as a special guest, since they normally don't allow outsiders to partake, but this time they'll make an exception. As Pike watches the ceremony, the realization of what is going on slowly creeps up on him. This child is being sacrificed to live through pain and torture and suffering before seeing an early grave. All so he could be hooked up to this machine, this matrix, allowing the people of the world to have a good life. The previous first servant is carried out during the ceremony, burnt to a crisp. Pike tries to stop the ceremony but is unable to, as he was struck unconscious by one of the guards. It turns out that the father was the one who tried to kidnap his son in order to save him from this horrid fate. When Pike awakens and the deed is done, all he could do is ask Allura why. And she replies, Can you honestly say that no child has suffered for the benefit of your Federation, that no child lives in poverty or squalor, while those who enjoy abundance look away? The only difference is we do not look away. Pike will forever be haunted by this encounter.
Well, too, and the fact that he slept with her, he's probably going, oh my God.
That's it.
Well, and he's like, he seriously probably was considering, okay, so if I just kind of retire a little bit early and go spend the rest of my life at this place, this wouldn't be so bad, would it? I'm thinking, I could deal with this. And then you realize that the perfect solution is, oh my God, they kill kids for the city. And that's just horrible.
Lift us where suffering cannot reach.
Well, this little last section kind of reminded me a little bit of a Scooby Doo episode because then when everything came
When you
together,
take off the mask and find out who they really are,
Yeah.
When you had Uhura is there talking about this means that you guys are related, you're not aliens, and she's like, stop lying. And it's like, no, she's not. She led to where the proof is. She was getting indignant that they found out about it, and she got the dreaded lesson 7: leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
And what was that? They normally have to lift a something stone?
Oh, you mean for lesson 7, how she normally makes her lift the stones?
Yeah, but the look on Uhura's face when she mentioned that was like so disgusting. It was like, so that must be something horrible.
But
lesson 7 must be normally just really disgusting.
No stone unturned even means that stone over there that nobody wants to go by. Somebody's got to turn a stone.
So, but that whole thing is that Uhura, I love the fact how they highlighted that she is extremely intelligent. She was able to put all this together and figure it out, and Lana gave the look to her. It's like, we would have got away too if it wasn't for your meddling security office, your communications officer.
That's true.
But she figured it out. And Spock is like, this is really kind of cool. This kid is really smart and there's something that's going on. And they find him and he was privy to the plan because he was just chillaxing in that little cube when they found him.
Yeah, he knew.
It's weird because for all of this, super uber smart sneaking around and reprogramming transporters to get away with what they're getting away with. And it's all for him to become, ascended to, the Matrix running the cities in his head.
Yeah.
And Gamal, I'll give him credit. They really showed the love that he had for his kid because he's like, you can't hold me. I'm not a Federation citizen. She's like, yeah, but you broke a lot of our laws. So,
well, then he's sitting there going, oh God, I violated my own principles. And, but parents do things for kids. And I like that while it seemed like, right at the beginning, he's like, are you this kid's father? And like, oh, only biologically. I'm like, it's like, whoa, what kind of a relationship do these guys have? But it turns out he's just like any other parent would do some really fucking crazy for their kid.
Well, he tried to distance himself. He tried to, say, this is, the way it is. I've always agreed with this. I've always supported it. And now it's my child. So I have to go through this, even though he didn't want to.
And he kind of came clean, but we don't see what he actually tells them because they're frantically trying to get through the scattering thing to call Pike and let him know, hey, you're about to see something really fucked up. You need to stop.
You're about to see some shit go down.
Yeah, man. You are not going to be happy about this.
No. And they can't reach him.
And the other thing about the whole fucked up situation that this kid's going through and the Pike's reaction to it, of course, he can relate totally to what this kid is going through because he's going through the same thing. He knows what his future is. He knows it's going to be painful. He can't deal with anything. There's no way around it. He's forced into it. He can't get away from it all. The kid's got the same problem. The kid's knows his future. He's really smart about everything. He understands what's going on. Nobody's hiding this, but it's really fucked up and he can't change his mind either. He's got to go through with it. And there's no way out.
And nobody is hiding the fact that the one who ascends suffers and is tortured.
Lots of suffering. So Pike knows this and is really pissing him off because he wouldn't volunteer to do this, but he knows he has to go through it and he has no choice. But they could save the kid. And this was really pissing him off.
Yeah, because he wanted to get to the kid and the kid realizes, okay, there's no out for me. So I'm going to accept this and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do and be the ascended.
And the sacrifice is it's heartbreaking. And at the same time, these people are super fucking smart. They live in cities in the skies. Their ground is full of acid and lava and they have to get a kid to plug it into the neural network. And that's their only solution out of all the time and all their smart. They can't figure anything else to do except, well, just sacrifice the kid. That's what we got to do.
It kind of reminds me of an episode of Babylon 5 where there was this planet where one person had to be in the machine to regulate the planet, to keep people away, to shoot aliens. And he wind up living a long life, but it takes a huge toll. And so this kid obviously is plugged into this machine to do a similar thing.
Well, it's not a long life. He's not sitting there and having a long life, because when they took the last ascendant out, when they took the last first servant out, he was still a child. So my question is how often do they go through children? Is it like once a year? Is it
how often do they throw their big party for the Ascension Day?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a once a year thing or something, because
it's some really fucked up shit though. And you see the kid carried out, the old ones all burned up and shit. Just like,
yeah, and he's still a child.
That kid was going through all that, and it's all fucked up. It's like really messed up.
Burnt to a crisp.
See, in a way, this is where to be a devil's advocate. They aware of it. They celebrate the fact that he gave this sacrifice, and they move forward. That being said, we as a society has done fucked up stuff like that as well, except they keep it quiet.
Oh, yeah. You look at the world.
You know, like what they did, what the Germans did to all the Jews in the concentration camps, of doing experiments like making women give birth with their legs tied together, doing all the different type of operations they did. They did the experiment like Mrs. Evers' boys, where the guys had syphilis and they claimed they were curing them, but they just wanted to see what the disease does. And there's a lot of stuff that
they tested twins.
Yeah, to see what would happen with one or the other. And what's even still, all of these Nazi scientists that did these things, they wind up doing Operation Paperclip, which when they beat Germany, they took all of these scientists and brought them over to the United States so we can further our stuff, even though the foundation of it was done on suffering and horrific things.
Yeah, their space program.
Yeah, that's another one. The guy with the rocket.
Where'd those rockets come from? Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done similar stuff, except the difference is we don't celebrate the sacrifices or those suffering that everyone went through to get us to our medical advancements. We just, sweep it under the rug and don't tell about it in school unless somebody researches it.
It also makes me wonder the motivations of these people and where you can relate this to real world. I mean, this is a group of people that they're living the good life, and they got to sacrifice a kid once in a while, but overall they're upfront about it and everyone's happy and everyone agrees to it and this and that. But at the same time, they've got the other people that kind of branched off and left this whole fucked up situation and moved elsewhere. Why these people are so fucking smart? Why didn't they fucking get up and leave and go to another planet and make that planet better?
They didn't want to.
They have a whole resistance, a whole planet of like parents probably who lost their kids and are like, this is some fucked up shit. We're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah. So we're looking at this, the uppity ups versus the not so uppity ups. And there's, it makes you think about it. If you go deeper into this, because it's some really fucked up. This is a fucked up episode, honestly.
It was, because it's like, I can ignore it as long as I'm not personally affected.
Yeah.
So it's like, as long as it's not my child, I don't care. I'm living a good life.
And at the same time, the thoughts of, well, we have all this medical technology, but we're not going to share it with you.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, whoa. The guy's got a daughter who's suffering. This is horrible. This is awful. And you have the ability to help, and you're not going to. No. It makes you think about, from multiple points of view, what's going on.
It really was a situation that, it's like, wow, this is really screwed. And then all the other stuff that you heard, all the red flags from the beginning, it all comes down to a point. It makes sense. That's why they said long live the Ascendant. They didn't want him to die. They wanted to get him off that planet. And you see all the little things about the suffering and far away.
Yeah. Let the tree that grows from the roots of sacrifice lift us to where suffering cannot reach. So the kid is sacrificed, and therefore they are able to live this amazing life with no, disease or medical problems or anything.
And they don't think about the suffering because it's far away. Yep. They're far away from it.
Exactly. It doesn't affect them.
No, it was a good episode, but it was a disturbing episode.
It was one of those that left a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah. But it made you think. And at least the doctor it's like, look, you tried to help me. I get it. You got a daughter with a thing. Here's my research. I hope it helps.
That was cool.
So that I thought was really cool, that he at least gave something that he can build on to try to help his daughter to get out of that thing.
And that's a nice way to end the episode. But then the end of the episode, they cut to Pike sitting there staring out the window. And the poor guy, man, that's fucked up. Yeah. He's like, on his starship and like, what's the next journey going to be like?
And
is it going to be something as fucked up as this?
Seriously.
Yeah.
He's like,
what's next?
Oh my God, I put my dick in her twice. She was so evil.
Well, we only know about one. I don't think they did it the first time they met because
I think you're right. I think this was a culmination of a long time.
Yeah, of all of this stuff that together,
especially because he knows his future's limited and is like, well, wait a minute. Why don't we do this? Because we may never see each other again. It's nice to see you, Yeah,
it was really the mantle of command because he wants to interfere in the society. Now, mind you, the Prime Directive, and I think doesn't take matter here because they are aware of the Federation. They're warp capable.
Yeah, they just denied being part of it.
They just didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And did they really deny being
part? Well, they're probably more technologically advanced.
But you see, also, my opinion, if they didn't want to be a part of it and they know Federation principles and standards, they probably knew we're doing some fucked up shit and they won't accept it. So we're not going to join.
Interesting.
Well, it's probably a matter of opinion. They probably don't see it as, doing fucked up shit. They see it as surviving. Whereas we see it as fucked up shit because it's like, holy crap, your fucking motto says, lift us where suffering cannot reach. But that kid's sure fucking suffering. Like, know that kid's suffering.
But it won't reach me because I'm having a good life.
Exactly.
So that's why it's not
the
reaching
other,
me.
Only other thing this episode left me with, especially on the second viewing, is when Pike beams away.
Crabs?
No, I didn't get any of those. When Pike beams away, she's heartbroken. She's got that tear coming down at the end. I didn't notice that the first time.
Oh, poor her.
Yeah. And at the same time, you got to say, hey, she's like, from her point of view, I didn't do anything wrong. We're being upfront and personal about this. I'm having a good thing happen here. Boy, did we have a good time last night.
Yeah, I never lied to you.
The starship captain may want to come back and hang out with me because we've got medical technology and all this.
Yeah,
but
I never lied. I never lied to you. I was upfront. Well, maybe not totally upfront, but enough.
What, the minor detail about the kid sacrificing thing? Oh, please. She had no idea that would affect him in that way.
But you see, the fact that they lied, in my opinion, that they lied and didn't want him to investigate the other ship and not find the full story, to me, is like they knew they're wrong. They knew how this would look to the outsiders.
Well, that's just like they don't want, you mean that the drama I'm having with my other family over there? Yeah, you don't want to see my family drama, so we just kind of avoid that. Yeah. That's kind of what that was.
And you were saying, Heather, I hope you didn't lose your train of thought.
I did. The cupcake looked so good, but then I ate it. It wasn't good.
EMH,
I'm surprised she's alive.
The cupcake is alive.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, the last
Thank
one
God
that you
for
gave,
replicators.
that you ate, you had flatulation issues for a full 24 hours.
That was so funny.
And maybe
that was
even the
bad.
dots were running to the other end.
The engineering section even got a whiff. I kind of shut down ventilation and engineering for a whole day.
It was bad.
The tribbles rolled away so fast.
You've never seen a tribble roll so quickly.
It sounded like somebody was riding a motorcycle up and down the corridors. So, but this episode, and he does what any good captain, after you get through some fucked up shit, he gets a drink and he sits there and just like, what the fuck did I do? And how could I have prevented it? What's all the little warning signs that I missed? How can I get better from this? How did I do that? So yeah, I see that look. And again, a credit to all the actors in this episode, because they all did a phenomenal job. It really, I don't know how they do the casting and the calls, but I've been impressed with the quality people.
Fantastic job.
Yep. So now I have to ask you, Heather, what would you give this one on a 1 to 10?
I give this one probably an 8.5. And the only reason why I don't give it higher is because I was seriously disturbed by the ending.
That's a good point. And how about you, number one?
I'm going to go with a 9.5.
9.5.
It was practically. It was nearly a perfect. It was like I said earlier. It was the trekkiest trek of trek that's been trekked in a long trek.
It's been a long road.
Trek.
Yeah, say that
Getting
5
from
times
there to
real
here.
fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say that 5 times real
Oh
fast.
God, groan.
And how about you, Chief? What would you give it?
I'm a high into the 9s as well. I really thought it was classic Star Trek because there are those episodes that put you on a crazy journey and then end up in a weird way. And it's just, it gives you that sour taste in your mouth, but it really makes your brain work. It really stirs you mentally. And I think that was what classic Trek should do a lot of the time. And that was what it did.
I would have to give this almost a 9. I would give it like an 8.8, almost a 9, because like my science officer said, the subject matter was disturbing, but the strength of the acting and the writing was done really well. And their special effects. I mean, Strange New Worlds has been knocking it out the park. And also really love you had the Amazon replicator make you that shirt there, number 1. Keep Star Trek strange. That was a nice little shirt that you got. You should like put a link for the rest of the crew to get it. It was
did.
What? Okay. Did he said his dick did? Or did he say he did?
He was addicted?
Oh. I thought he said he was addicted.
I think number 1 has a new hobby of making shirts because we have a few new shirts out too. We're starting to.
Are we going to talk about that yet? When do we open up the Teespring store or whatever we're calling it now?
Well, it's open. It's ready.
We just got to put links out or something, right?
Yeah, we just got to start talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get one that just says Starfleet Underground? Can we make one of those too?
Sure.
Because we're
Definitely.
you guys have got some great ones coming, but yeah, I want just a simple logo.
One of the things that on Lower Decks, we found that there is a souvenir store on every ship, so we're opening one.
There you go.
And you guys could be able to get great souvenirs and all kinds of stuff inside there. We're getting the stock.
I don't remember the fact that I sent you guys mouse pads and coffee mugs. That said
Yes, he did.
Fine.
Oh yeah, those are
he
awesome.
did. But those weren't for the general public. Those are just for us.
Yeah, I mean, I got my cup right here still. I got I've got a screwdriver collection sitting in it.
I got it too. I love those.
And I got my mouse on the mouse pad. It's awesome. I just want a t-shirt.
And I use the mouse. I use the mouse
love
pad a
it.
lot. And I won't take my mug to my other area because I'm worried that it will get broken by accident. So I use it here in my quarters. So it is greatly appreciated. Well, you always do the nice things. That's why I feel bad when bad things happen to you. Like, you pulling coupling cables. So that was funny. But you did get ascended.
to the level where they pull the coupler. Okay.
We'll be opening the store and putting a links up soon for those of you that want to buy interesting stuff. And it's not all branded Starfleet Underground stuff. There's will be all kinds of nice little things out there. And we'll start maybe the next show, Heather.
Little Easter eggs.
This is the next show, Heather. We're going to give them the full emotional impact of our wonderful store.
Sure. This was a teaser.
Oh, consider yourselves teased. So you guys get
we do like to tease. You know us.
Yes, we do. It's teased as much as Pike was when he thought he was going to have a second round, but he got interrupted by Uhura.
Oh my. Anyone would be that pissed off if you were in that position.
Another thing I thought was kind of cool is that when she discovered it and how she wanted La'an, and La'an being a good security person says, no, you discovered it. You get the credit. So
Yeah.
many people in the world don't do that shit. It's like, you discovered it. I'm taking the credit. So no, that was nicely done. Number 1, do you know the name of the next week's episode?
The Serene Squall.
I wonder what that's going to be about.
Something serene but squalid.
A serene squalid, much like that guest we had their quarters. It was peaceful yet in such disarray. It was strange. Okay, we're going to get ready to get going here. We
need to go lay down.
Yeah, we need to get my number
neck is
1
killing
to
me.
be able to relax a little bit. And I am going to see and do an EV and check our hull because I thought I heard something bang into
Check
it.
your hull?
The hull of the ship. I heard something bang into it the other day and I
I
didn't see
bet you
anything
did.
on the camera. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Why should I go out? 007 sent a dot to examine the hull. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
sir, if it's not worth doing, it's not worth doing right
No.
or something or other.
Yeah, and technically, yes, you are our servant. So don't tell you I am not the servant of you. Yes, you are. Go out there and do it. Thank you. All right, thanks everybody for joining us for another wonderful and exciting episode of Starfleet. What the fuck is that? No, when I talked about Heather's cupcakes, I didn't say you need to bring in the rest of them. Get them out of the quarters. Thank you. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll be back next week for another episode of Starfleet Underground. If you want to reach us, our email address is thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Just go ahead and address it to any of the crew members, and we'll be able to get it. So again, that's thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Listen, because the chief is going to go over all of our show notes, links, and where else you can find us. So we appreciate you being here. Remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.
Thank you. But that cupcake actually looks pretty good. Let me see.
Don't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
taste the
Don't.
Don't touch it. Oh, that was only a lip too.
EMH.